Internet, welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show, and today I'm bringing you some news on the top 70 games that are back during Sony's E3 through Sony's E3 they promised that over 140 games were coming to the PlayStation 4 in 2014. Here's a list of 70 of the now I found the list of the 70 of those games that were going to come out this year. And judging from the list, we do honestly have some good games here, minus a few. Now, pretty much a few that did honestly kind of catch my attention are games like Destiny, The Witcher 3. See, you have Thief, and with how Thief was kind of going. You have Outlast, you got PlanetSide 2, Drive Club, Infamous Second Son, Metal Gear. Now, you kind of get it. Now, you pretty much kind of get, man, the gist of it. But pretty much around this time, I kind of wanted to talk about the top 5 or 6 or 7 games that pretty much kind of caught my attention. Or pretty much the ones that I'm looking most forward to seeing this year. And starting out with at the top of the list, I'm looking at, or at least my first game that I'm bringing to your attention is Outlast. It is surprisingly a game that is so... It is a game which, at its core, it is a very, very, very scary game. Solely because it kind of builds on those things that I was kind of talking about in my Resident Evil videos of them building atmosphere. And pretty much, even though in this game you can't necessarily fight back, at the same time, if you could, it would possibly be at the point of which you can fight back, but there's a consequence to doing it, you know. But give or take with a game like this, it's actually they do honestly understand what they're trying to bring to the table, and saying that it is coming out for PlayStation 4 later on this year, something that I'm looking forward to. In terms of my number 2 game, I'm looking at Infamous Second Son, which I'm like, who isn't surprised at this point if somebody picks Infamous. But I'm like, of course, you know, it's nice to kind of see how they're going to do the main character, who pretty much his powers are fire based, and pretty much he can absorb the powers of other people. I mean, that is kind of an interesting thing about the character, and I'm pretty interested to see how far the story is going to go. Okay, going up to number 3, I have Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. Now, in terms of Ground Zero, I'm not even sure if this is still a separate game or not, or if this is supposed to be the lead-in for Metal Gear Solid 5. But give or take that the title is still Ground Zero, I would assume that this is before the name change. However, pretty much any Metal Gear game I'm pretty much kind of always interested in. Solely because I like the series and I like pretty much the stories that they have to tell me in that. Now that's honestly something that's pretty much kind of like keeping the gaming world awake for me. Going on to number 4, we have Final Fantasy 15. Originally Final Fantasy 13 Versus 13, whichever way you want to say that game. That game was possibly one of the most anticipated games coming out due to its trailer and due to how the character was, and pretty much how he could have swords just sort of floating around him and such. Which at this point it kind of doesn't seem like it's or at least like give or take now with how some of the trailers have been going for the gameplay, it kind of doesn't seem like that he's the only character who can do that. However, pretty much it does kind of look like it's going to play a little bit like Rechain of Memories, in which that you have this selection of swords, and each sword you can only use for one attack or one combo or so on and so forth. Now that's something that pretty much I am looking forward to. Now, in terms of my number 5, I have Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, mind you, I don't really know anything about what they're doing with this new Kingdom Hearts game. The most that I've seen about it was pretty much the whole thing of the Tornado of Heartless, which Sora had to ride on. That is pretty much all I know about that game. Anything else is like, well, okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming, and I am interested I'm interested to see how this series is going to end, solely because, hey, I'm a fan of it and I want to see how it's going to end. Now, in terms of my last one. Now, this one is way more out of nostalgia and pretty much kind to see how they kind of do the remix version of this. But Mighty Number 9. My number 6 is Mighty Number 9. Solely because I am a Mega Man fan through and through. I mean, it's one of the games that pretty much kind of like made me the gamer that I am today, solely through like its difficult bosses and pretty much its difficult level design and pretty much everything else that kind of came with it, going from the original Mega Man to Mega Man X to the Mega Man well, I didn't like the Battle Network games, but not even Battle Network, but going to the Command and to the Command RPG game. I mean, it was a pretty interesting thing, and I'm honestly kind of interested to. I am really interested to pretty much kind of see where Mega Man, or at least Mighty Number 9, is going to go and what they have to bring to the table. But till then, ayo, I am going to put the list down in the description below. You guys go ahead and check out some of these games. Tell me which ones you like, love, you hate. Which ones, man, you think that shouldn't even be released. Which ones are you pretty much looking forward to the most? Please let me know down there in the comments section. Until then, you guys keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'll see you guys on the next John Grave Show. Have a good one.